So apologies for the background noise. We're continuing to work with the Rev Zero board that we built. I have added in a, I think, is this called a language card, I think? It adds an extra 16K of memory. You pull one of the DRAMs, move it up to here. I know I had this installed in the other machine at one time. I don't really remember what it does. We've of course got our ROM card as well. Let's just get it in the slot here. Keyboard is hooked up. This nice long keyboard cable helps. Video, I've got the motherboard rotated to make it easier to get everything on camera. Let me turn the power on, and that looks normal. And we have a prompt. Now I have no idea how to query for the amount of memory. I really don't remember how to query for the amount of memory in the system. We have a LED over here that's lit that looks like maybe it's just a power LED. I don't know. I don't know enough about this card. But where I'm headed with this is this box that I have had sitting on the shelf for ages. I just never got to it after I received it. Let's go ahead and open it up together and take a look what we've got here. So, like I say, I've never even opened the box up after it was delivered. I think you saw in the writing there what it should be. There is some cardboard here. Is that just filler? It feels too stiff to just be filler. I have no idea if there's anything in here or not. Oh, I bet there's a printed circuit board in here, which is why it said sound on the shipping box. There's a printed circuit board in here. So let's take a look at what it is. I have no clue. Oh, it looks to me like it's a Mockingboard. ReactiveMicro.com Mockingboard version 2. Excellent. So we've got a sound card to build. That makes me happy. That will be a good project. There sure feels like there's another card in here. It's nice and stiff. Like I said, I got distracted on the original Apple II project and we never got back to it. Yeah, this looks to be Compact Flash IDE interface for Apple II. Wow, look at the... And there's something taped down here with this black tape. It's got to be the surface mount devices. Let's go ahead and tape that back down. So I apparently ordered a couple of boards at the same time I ordered this guy. Let's go ahead and open him up. This, I know what it is. As to, I'm assuming there's actually two different things in here. Oh, I didn't realize I ordered the remote for it as well. Wow. See, I ordered this ages and ages ago with the intent of using it to be able to actually build something or do something with the Apple II more than just, boot a floppy. Reference manual, firmware, miscellaneous disk images, and cider press. It's version 1.0 Rev C. Apparently I ordered this all from Reactive Micro. I don't remember ordering it from Reactive Micro, but apparently I did, and that's absolutely fine. There's a ribbon cable. There's, of course, the little... for swapping out the drives. Very cool. I believe if I put this in slot 6, it will boot as if it's a floppy. Now, I've seen the power come on and the system reset here and gets me to the prompt. So let's just go ahead and add it in slot 6 and see if it'll boot from it. Well, I have no clue. So let's go ahead and take a look at the CFA. I've read through the manual. I've got it installed here. This is a little different configuration than we showed before. I've got a language card here with an additional 64K of RAM on it for a total of an additional 16K of RAM on it, giving me a total of 64K in the Apple II system. We've got our ROM card that we wire wrapped. It's missing the F8 ROM because the boot ROM is provided on the language card down here. This card has been modified so that this card, when it expresses the inhibit line, which normally tells the onboard ROMs to disable, will disable the ROMs on here instead. That's why I can have a language card and a ROM card in the machine at the same time. We've got our CFFA300 or 3000 sitting here. Let's go ahead and power up. And I should be able to hit reset and M. Okay, we didn't get there. I'll do this. So PR number 7. So the card is in slot 7. Okay, it came straight into the menu. Okay, that's what we wanted to see. This is the CFFA3000 menu. The A and Z key. Move the cursor up and down. I want to go ahead and set up a disk 2. Right now the slot is undefined. I can use the set of arrow keys here to move through the possible positions. I want it to be in slot 6, which is normally where the floppy drive controller would go. Let's move down to disk 2 assignments. I'm going to assign first a DOS 3.3 disk. So we're on blank DOS 3.3 disk. I'm going to push the 2 key to mount it on drive 2. And then I'm going to shift down to the actual bootable image and I'm going to mount that on drive 1. And then I'm going to move back up to disk images and I'm going to come down to diags. And the best diag I have found is this one right here, computer checkup.disk. There's a cracked version of it, but the computer checkup.disk runs fine for me. And I'm going to hit 1 here to mount it or to have it available on drive C as well. And what you can see here in the menu is the caret pointing, or the greater than symbol, is telling you which disk is currently mounted. And I can use the disk 1 here, the button on the remote control, to pick which one of the disks is actually mounted. So in this configuration, we can come back to the main menu and we can do a Control B to reboot the system at this point. I can't do a Control B? Okay. I'm not sure why I can't at this point. PR number 6, boot from there. Okay, that is booting from the mounted DOS 3.3 floppy. And it hung up. Why did it hang up? PR number 7. M to get in the menu. Do I need to shift this to slot 6? There's what I did wrong. I want on boot now to be from slot 6 rather than slot 7. Let's go ahead and boot slot 6. And this should actually get us started up correctly. And there it is. So right now we're in, of course, the full AppleSoft Basic, the floating point Basic. We can type int to hop down to integer Basic, FP to get back up to floating point Basic. I can do a catalog drive 2, and I can see that I have 3 files saved over there. I can do a load color 3. It'll load that little basic program off drive 2. We can run it, and this is all that it does, is generate color bars and provide some numeric information about how it's generating the colors. I can break out of this, go back to text mode, and now what I can do is I can hit the drive 1 button here once, and I see the LEDs flash, and I can do a restart. PR number 6, and it should now boot into Diagnostics. This actually works pretty well, and there we are in the Diagnostics. One of the reasons I wanted to jump in here, we'll talk about this in this video, was in earlier videos you saw me attempting to use this language card and having all kinds of really weird issues, and it turns out one of the DRAMs on it is bad. And the card itself might actually be having issues. I know this DRAM is bad because I used a 4116 tester and identified it as bad. There was just weirdness with the card and getting weird failures that just didn't make sense. I've got this language card. It's a different one with the actual boot ROM on it in the machine, and it's solid as a rock. and I believe that because if I go ahead and run Diagnostic H, it's right now checking the memory chips on the language card, and you can see that they're all pass. And I've let this loop for quite some time. We can escape back to the main system menu. We can go to main memory, test A, and we can see that all the main memory chips, of course, pass here. It will, and there it was, it incremented. We got through a full pass. We can get back out. We can go to language, let's see, or no, to keyboard language card, firmware card, no. System ROMs, I want test B. And what that's going to do is it's making passes. It's looking at the 5 ROMs on here and the 1 ROM over here, the F8 ROM over here. And it's basically saying the ROMs are correct. I'm not sure how it's testing this, probably just running a checksum for each one, but it believes my ROMs are all correct. And this is the first time I've been able to validate that all of the, at least for the 5 EEPROMs on this board, they are programmed with a clean image. So that actually makes me kind of happy. Things are definitely coming together here. Keyboard test. I'm not going to run it. It'll have you push keys on the keyboard to validate they work, and all of the normal Apple II keyboard keys show up here, and they all work on the keyboard, which is pretty nice. So let's go ahead and instead exit this. And I'm going to change back to DOS 3.3. I hit the button there once. Let's go ahead and reboot from slot 6. And there we are. Integer Basics loaded in the background. We're in AppleSoft Basic, Floating Point Basic, and we're back. If I boot here from PR number 7, and once it starts to boot, hit the M key. By default, within half a second. I've increased that to a second. But if I boot and hit the M key pretty quickly, it'll get us back into the menu for the CFFA3000. Now, the CFFA3000's been around for a long time. Lots of other people have demonstrated it. This is mainly about me showing it working in my Apple I Rev 0 in this current configuration. So we're actually getting a pretty decent machine built here. I'm really pretty happy with it. Anything else to hit on here? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up here. And I'll see you in a future video.